Assassin and Hunter here, and if you guys enjoyed this video, you should subscribe for more RWBY videos. Today we are going to be talking about post-credit scenes, which haven't happened since, like, Volume 6, or maybe even Volume 5. I don't think that there's been a post-credit scene in a long while, so...
Only Volume 7,
We're gonna be clowns and talk about the post-credit scene.
Well, first we can talk about whether or not there's going to be a post-credit scene.
Yes.
So I think that there is actually a slight possibility that there will be the case. And here's my reckoning. It did not happen in Volume 7 because they were making adjustments for crunch. And now I think they've made those adjustments for crunch, and therefore I think that it is possible that they could make a very, very short,
basically the same reason there was no, character trailers anymore. Because in Volume 5 they did, 3 character trailers, and then they did the Adam character trailer, and they basically said, no character trailer, no post-credit scene, because we want to, put our resources into the actual volume. But you're basically saying that they've sorted that out, so now they can do a post-credit scene.
Because I think that could have been the awkward middle phase where they still, mind you, it's a real possibility that there just won't be one because of limitations like COVID and limitations like the massive snowstorm they had in Texas. Yeah. So it's very possible it won't happen. I think if it does happen, it'll be very, very, very short. Yeah. I'm talking
5 seconds, 10 seconds long.
10, it could literally be one shot of, here's my first idea for what it's going to be as a comedy, first Avengers movie end credit gag, is that it's just Tyrion and Mercury flying over and they're just sitting there
so it's more
Mercury's very awkward, looking out the window, and then...
See, you're suggesting something a bit more funny than, shocking.
And then Tyrion's the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round.
God.
I think that's a real possibility. It wouldn't be too hard to animate, I'm thinking.
I think that it would be more serious if we see one. So here are some candidates for post-credit scenes, okay? Salem regenerating. Salem being gone a long time. So I feel that'll either be, in the finale, proper, that'll be an end scene in the finale, but at the same time, I don't know where you would work that in unless we do see Cinder, Neo, and Watts. They've gotten their W's, they predict, we go, back to where the whale is or where Salem is, and we see her regenerate, cut, that's the end of the volume, but we could see that as a post-credit scene instead of being, in the volume itself, right?
What I imagine is that, they're on the outside and, the bloated corpse of the whale, and then they land the plane, and then they, the three of them, Neo, Cinder, and Watts, walk up, and then you kind of see her, reverse explode, develop slowly. Exactly. And then, maybe Cinder goes on, one knee and hands them the scepter and the Relic of Knowledge. Yeah. And, you just cut to, maybe Salem smiling.
I kind of had this thing where Salem would be well, you know what I mean? That very, Maleficent,
maybe,
well, Cinder, right?
She has a little line. She's very happy she has a little line, smack cut. Exactly. That's what I imagine.
Exactly. I really like that. I really like that one. But here's another idea, okay? We talked about Team Coffee being included in the actual show. We did mention that, right? That, we'd actually see them go help Oscar, Ren, and, oh god, Emerald? Yes. Yeah, Emerald. And so, we talked about that, but I could see that actually also being a post-credit scene, right, where we see Jean go through the portal, right, and he's Team RWBY is gone, we talked about in our final predictions video, but then, basically what happens is that, we smash cut with Jean being Team RWBY and Nora, they disappeared. They're not, they never came out. And we see Ren have, mental breakdown, cut. And then, in the post-credit scene, we see, John and them, they're trying to, fight off the Ravengers. Yeah. They're going through, the sandstorm, and then Team Coffee rides in, and then that's the post-credit scene, and Coco has some, snarky
What I imagine is that all we see is, it's kind of like the post-credit scene of the first season, where we introduce Cinder. I imagine that all you hear is, the noise.
Sand turtle.
Or maybe the sand turtle. Maybe they come in on the sand turtle, or maybe you just hear the noise of Coco's handbag turning into a Gatling gun. Yeah. And then you just show her in a new outfit, and then she's flanked by Fox and Yatsuhashi and Velvet.
And I'm thinking that
I'd be I heard you need some help. I think that would be mwah. Yeah. That would be really punchy. Typically they aren't super punchy unless you count the very first RWBY one. But I think that could be very interesting. Yeah, I agree. My third one involves when they actually fall into this new world. I think that we could it just starts with like black and you hear a wind noise.
Sure.
And all of a sudden you see Ruby falling from the sky into this
pop.
patch of group. Yeah, and she falls into water, almost kind of like what happened to Salem in the fairy tale.
There's, in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's this, like, world that's kind of like death, I guess, and it's just, like, all water, if that makes sense. Like, it's water, and it's, like, see-through water, so, like, the sky is water, the floor is water, like, it's kind of crazy like that. That's, like, something that could be a thing, right? Like, that could
I'm thinking she could use her, maybe she tries to use her semblance, but realizes she can't, so she grabs onto Crescent Rose and does, like, the shooting thing.
I actually really like the idea of us not knowing what happens to Team RWBY until next volume, and maybe it's because I'm evil,
so
but
maybe
I kind of like the idea.
Falling.
Yeah, I guess so. But even that tells us that they're not dead, and I know that we know that they're not dead because they're the titular characters or whatever you call them, right? But I would actually prefer if we don't know what happens to them. They all just fall and we never see.
Because if they wanted it to drop on a serious cliffhanger, that's one of the options. But what I imagine is that RWBY realized she doesn't have her semblance. She does the shooty thing. She drops on like a yellow brick road, and she looks up and she sees like her friends, and she goes over and she like hugs Yang, and she's crying, and then she looks over and we just see a woman who looks mysteriously like Pyrrha, and Misha says like hello again, but it's in a very different tone of voice. Instead of like hello again, it's hello again. I think, and then like smash cut. That would be pretty hardcore.
That's with our afterlife theory, I guess. Yeah, that would be interesting, but I kind of just prefer us not knowing.
I do kind of, but I have another way that they could do it that kind of insinuates that there's someplace else. What I imagine happened is that we cut to like Taiyang's house. And Taiyang's just like ranting back and forth. And like Zwei looks very scared and it's like, I don't understand. They could be anywhere. Why didn't you save them? And then the camera turns and it's Raven.
And she's like, bitch, I tried!
And then kind of, and she kind of pulls out her sword. It's like, listen to me. I can go to where anyone
like I care about
is. I opened the portal. It should have brought me to Yang or Yang's corpse. It didn't lead me anywhere. I don't know where Yang is. It kind of some insinuation that Yang is not dead.
And then we get to see Raven and Tai. Because I do think that they're a good candidate for the post-credit scene as well. Just because, like, the last post-credit scene, I guess not the last one, but the one before that was Tai and Raven, right? And so I kind of like the idea of us seeing Tai and Raven try to go through the portal, but maybe it rejects her. Like, Tai's like, I don't understand it. He's mad and he's mad. The camera pans, and then Raven she's going in, it's bouncing out. She's going in, it's bouncing out. Like, it's sort of like, it's not even working or something like that.
What I imagine is that before this, you kind of see, like, Crow and Robin
maybe
and
they're
some of the Aesops
in the back, and they're just, like, arms crossed.
No, but they're, like, in the winter, and they're like, how are we going to survive? Because, like, all their ships are broken, and the bomb goes off, and then you just kind of hear the, like, noise of the portal,
your other idea.
And then it cuts back over to whatever anybody else is going, and then the end credit scene is we see that Raven already grabbed all of them, and it's Taiyang fighting with, like, or maybe Crow fighting with Taiyang fighting with Raven, and then like Zwei and Harriet, and they're
Robin,
just
they're just like,
okay.
Robin's just there, and she's like, right, because that was in our final prediction, like what happened to the Aesops. But I think that Raven and Ty are a good candidate. I think that that's a really good idea.
Because we get to pop the Raven watch, and I'm so excited for that. And I think you get a great line where we don't show them what happens. But we're still insinuated that, like, listen, if they were dead, I could go to their corpse. I could go to their final resting place. I can go over to where Summer Rose is. I can't go to them. They're alive, but they're somewhere else.
They're not here.
And
so and so I like that. So far we got Team Coffee, we got Salem regenerating, and then we have this idea.
You forgot about Tyrion and
Mercury. Tyrion and Mercury. I'm
Reels
so
on the bus
sorry.
go round and round.
Tyrion and Mercury. The only other thing that I could see is the Summer Maiden. And I know that this sounds weird, but I do have this theory that the Summer Maiden is Rapunzel and she's living in the vault. And so if our afterlife theory is not correct, what I could see happening is Rapunzel's here, she has her little basket of, relic realm berries or whatever, right? She has her little basket of relic realm berries and she just hears thud. And that's RWBY, and so she turns around and looks, but we don't know what it is. We just know that it's a new character.
Yeah, maybe it just cuts to this random woman in like a field of green, and she's like picking berries or flowers or something.
Exactly.
And then we just see someone drop from the sky, or we hear like the shooting.
Exactly.
The shooting, like
she's
Yang
like, what
or
the fuck? There
RWBY.
shouldn't be anyone in there. That's one theory is true versus the Afterlife one, which would obviously include Pyrrha. We're thinking that the Summer Maiden in the
I'm
vaults.
also thinking that I kind of imagine them as the same, that it's an Afterlife and the Relic World.
Oh, so they're both.
Yeah, but it's not totally an Afterlife. You see people who, it's almost like a weird mirage mind screw, where you kind of meet versions of people who you know that have passed on.
Okay.
You kind of have a separate thing. I imagine them both very similar.
Yeah, I kind of imagine like Rapunzel's just chilling in the vault.
Exactly.
If it's not Star, not Star, I have another idea for a whole new character that like lives inside of the vault realm, and Theodore brings her stuff every once in a while. Like that's sort of my idea, but we'll have to wait and see.
What's a good name for the Summer Maiden?
Well, I
think
that they should just call her Rapunzel. Like I don't know. I know.
Sun.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, we already have Sun, though. We can't have another Sun.
Sunny?
I knew you were going to say that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess Rapunzel's not a color name, is it?
Another term for sun is Corona, but I feel as though they won't use that one.
I know. Like, that's Rapunzel's kingdom in the movie.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Wow, that aged poorly.
Yeah, and so, oh god, the poor Rapunzel at Disneyland that is going to have to answer a bunch of Corona-related questions after all this is done. Man. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, like, I feel like maybe they can name her after the vegetable that Rapunzel's mom ate, so it's less of the something. Like in the original fairy tale, not in the Disney movie. Yeah. I don't remember what it was.
She was a sunflower. Is there, like, can you look up, like, the genus of sunflower?
I don't know.
Listen, Team RWBY.
RWBY probably understands. They've
already written this season, I think. They have the name down.
But yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like, she wants cabbages or something. No, but maybe the plant was called Rapunzel. Maybe that's why she was named Rapunzel. Maybe. So maybe it is a color name, technically, because it's a vegetable. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, so that was our other thing, is like a Summer Maiden that like lives inside of the vault.
I'm not going to lie, these ideas are really good, and I'm so sad that they're probably not going to happen, because they're probably not doing a post-credit scene. But they're very good ideas. I think
that's pretty much it. Like, I think that's all that we got.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anything else.
Ranking them from your most to least wanted.
There actually is. Some people think that we'll get a summer post-credit scene, but I think that's going to be more of a Volume 9 thing.
Yeah, well,
Salem's not regenerated yet, so a lot of people thought that we get this scene of Salem, like, going down into her dungeon and being like, well, Summer.
We had that for Volume 7, but then there wasn't one for Volume 7. I could maybe see that more in Volume 9.
I could see that, too, in Volume 9, just because, like, Salem needs to regenerate, and I feel like if we're going to get a Salem scene, our Cinder idea is better.
Unless that earlier Cinder thing happens
in the volume.
In the actual volume.
And then they all go home to Darkness Land or wherever they, Salem's castle. Like, that happens in the volume proper. They go to Salem's castle, and maybe that could be the end credit scene, is Salem talking to Summer.
Maybe she heals the whale.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Salem talking to Summer also.
Personal ranking, I think that, oh goodness, Coco's probably at the bottom.
Yeah, because we can see that in the show.
And then like because I think it works better.
And we're gonna see them sometime, right? We're gonna see them someday anyway, right? So I would say Coco at the bottom.
And then I would say the Afterworld theories, I kind of like. I almost prefer your Afterworld theories of just you see the Summer Maiden picking berries and she hears a gunshot.
Yeah. Or like even, we just
over than my of like them meeting Space Pyrrha or alternate universe Pyrrha. Then I'm thinking you have that Cinder. Oh, no, that was probably at the bottom. Then definitely you have
Raven for you.
Raven is definitely number one. A close second, Mercury and Tyrion.
Oh god. For me, I would have to say Mercury and Tyrion at the bottom. Then Team Coffee. Then I feel like that realistically, the Salem one is like a solid one in general, right? But that could also be in the show proper. So if we're talking about strictly post-credit, I think that the Afterlife, like seeing like what happens to Team RWBY in a very vague way, that like we don't know if they're alive or not type of thing. Like I think that would be, and then the Ty and Raven stuff, maybe I would like kind of move those around a little bit, because I think that In terms of what I would most look forward to, I would technically most look forward to seeing Team Coffee. That's technically what I'd like most. But in terms of like what can be fit in the show, but what works as a post-credit scene, I think, you know, again, like the Summer Rose stuff, the Afterlife stuff, or the Raven stuff would work best as a post-credit. Whereas everything we already said, like the Coffee stuff and the Salem stuff where Cinder brings her the relic, could be just a part of the show. Could be just a part of the final.
And that very well might be the case if they're no longer doing post-credits.
Yeah, and so I think that that's basically it, guys. I think we talked about everything, and so yeah, that is it from us. I hope that you guys enjoyed our little video about post-credit scenes. If they exist, we don't know. They may not exist, and so yeah, that is it from us, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!